Okay, we're back. We're back. Eggle and I are back. Aren't we? We are. Okay. So this one is going to be about, a program that I use. Sort of like a 3D game kind of program kind of thing. You've probably heard about it. It's called Second Life. Now I've been using this for about 14 years. Now Second Life is a place where you can do all sorts of things. You can build like houses and all of that, so trees, plants, buildings, clothing, hair, skin, eyes, makeup, wallpapers, textures, lights, you name it, you can build it. Okay, whatever you want, you can build if you're that way inclined. Okay, you can either deposit your own money and you can put that into the game and become game money, which is then called Linden. You can also withdraw your Linden and put it back into your bank to make your outside Linden back into currency again, but they take a percentage out of that and they make you wait. Okay, so you don't get your 100% that you put in, you only get a certain amount back out, if you know what I mean. So if you put in, like, say $100 worth of Linden, like, don't do that into the game, you know, to give you that. If you withdrew that, you wouldn't get $100 back. You'd get less, okay, because they take a percentage. I think they take 15% or something like that percentage out before you get anything else. And you've got to have a certain amount of Linden before you can withdraw it out. So there you go. Now, you can have characters like an avatar. You can have anything. You can have zombie, vampire, werewolf, witch, human, a dog, a pig, a cat, a bird, a furry. You can have everything and anything, okay? Now, Second Life can be fun and Second Life can be very enjoyable. You can actually date in there. You can get married, you can be engaged and you can get married. You can have children, you can adopt babies, you can bring them up, you know, all sorts of stuff, okay? You can be a DJ. I'm a DJ in there. But, here's your but. It can also be very nasty, very spiteful, and very vindictive in Second Life. And I'll give you an example. I was DJing a few years. Hang on a minute. I was DJing in a country club on my avatar, and I was having some issues with one of the host managers. Now, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 4, but I would say at least 8 or 9. She had been reported for being unprofessional and downright nasty, to the degree that she got fired. Now, it wasn't just because of myself. It was other staff members, usually DJs, that she had decided she'd pick on and have a go at. And she got fired over it. But because she knew that I had reported her for it to the management of the club. She blamed me for it. So she had all her friends come into the club and literally tell me that they wanted me gone. They wanted me out of Second Life. They wanted me out of DJing. They wanted me out of hosting. They wanted me off the grid. And they wanted me out of the program completely. And that they would make sure that I would lose all my jobs in Second Life. And that I would not get employed in Second Life again. And that I would have my account frozen by Linden Lab. They then decided that they would put a little contest together, and to see who could I'm trying to think of what other people say it. Who could fuck me first? Because you can have sex in this particular program. I don't have sex in this program. I don't desire to, and I don't think there's any need, so I don't do it. So this one guy started to date me. It went on for a month. And until finally the truth came out. And he said that I was nothing but a bet, and that he'd got his money, he'd won, even though he'd never fucked me. That he'd got his bet, he'd won. I was a laughing stock, and everybody was in on it, but he didn't name who. He said, now that I've got my money, he said, you're no good to me. He said, your purpose, your purpose has been served. And the sooner that you drop dead and, and stop breathing, the better it will be for all of us. And don't expect to meet anybody in Second Life as far as, finding somebody, because it will always be one of us. I lost all my DJ jobs. Every time I go to apply for another job in Second Life to DJ, I don't get them, because these people, this group, go to all the clubs and tell them not to hire me. Now, they stalk me all over Second Life. Literally. I can't go to any stores and shop for clothes. I can't go to any clubs. They didn't like what I had in my profile. So they made sure that when I did get hired, I had to have that removed or I wouldn't get the job. They didn't like I won't accept friendships in Second Life because I don't trust people. I don't know who they are. So I'm not going to add somebody to my friends list just because they want to be added. To me, they've got to be a friend. You've got to be able to, I've got to know them for starters. 2, I've got to be able to talk, I've got to be talking to them each day. 3, I've got to be hanging out with them and get included in what they do. I'm going to hit your leg again. And included in what they do. Well, I'm just not going to add them to my friends list. No way. And you don't need to have somebody on your friends list in Second Life in order to know when they're online. You can do it through the group. When you join their groups and stuff like these clubs groups and stuff like that, it will show you. You go into the group profile and it will show you who is online and when. Okay, you don't need to be on their friends list, right? Well, I got told that I would have to add who they wanted me to have on my friends list, whether I liked it or whether I didn't. Well, when I said, well, I don't like it, but you know, I will do it, but I'm not happy about it. They said, don't bother, you know, we're going to fire you. I said I'd do it, but now you're going to fire me? I said, I've just wiped my profile clear. I said, I've just said I'd do it. I said, and you're going to fire me? Yes. I did a course in Second Life. It took me a year to do. It was in regarding some role play called Gore. I don't know if any of you know about Gore, but it is strictly a role play. It's a sci-fi role play story thing that a man called John Norman wrote. And there's like, I think there's like 24 books that you can buy. And it speaks about this sister planet of Earth that is hidden behind the sun. And men rule. And it's master, slave, mistress, free woman, all sorts of stuff, okay? And I would role play that. So I did this course, and it took me 12 months to do, and I got certified. Like I got my certificate, and I had a ceremony, because I had to do a ceremony thing for it, and I got my picture. You had to earn a certain amount of points, and I just got the amount of points I needed, and I got my picture put in the Hall of Fame on this particular thing where the course was put. And I was renting out. Well, I wasn't renting, they weren't charging anything, but I'd been given a room that I could use to have and go to and live in and that sort of thing. So I had a place to live in Second Life. Well, this other girl that was also a student that was doing it, right, she had been, like, absolutely horrible. Like, she's constantly telling lies. She constantly treats people like shit when she feels like it, and expects them to forgive her and kiss her ass because she says, oh, sorry, and she's not sorry at all, because if she was, she wouldn't keep doing it. And this one particular day, I'd had enough of her, and she turns around to me and she starts being a real little turd bucket, and she turns around and she says, oh, you've not changed. She said, you're still the same as you were years and years and years ago, and blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm sorry, but what she was referring to happened 9 years ago, between 8 to 9 years ago. Now, for one, I never knew her then. 2, she didn't know me. 3, she wasn't even around then to see the role play or to see how I was. You do not bring a person's past from 8 years ago into the present to state to them that they have not changed and they are still the same person, and add a few more insulting words to the equation. Well, you don't with me anyway. So I told her to go get screwed, and how dare she. So I went to the owner of this sim and this program, and I said to her, could she have a word with her? Big mistake. Well, she sided with her. Well, she turned around to me and she said I had to forgive her. And I said to her, I said, look, I said, I can't stay online. I said, if I do, I'll be running late. I said, I've got to log off. I said, because I've got an MRI scan I've got to have done. I said, so I can't stay. I said, but I will not forgive her, but I will not bring it up again. Have a nice day. I've got to log off. I've got to go to the hospital and I've got to have an MRI scan done. And with that, I logged off, not thinking anything majorly big about the whole goddamn thing. And I logged back on around about 4.5, 5 hours later when I got home. And I received this note card, which is a note that they can send you when you're offline and stuff like that. And it says that, well, how dare you speak badly about this one student, and how dare you log off without my permission, and then tell me to have a nice day when I didn't give you permission to log off until I was ready to let you log off. So with that, I'm removing you from the program and I'm banning you from my sim. So what she did was, she took my picture down from the Hall of Fame, she removed me from the group, she returned all my belongings to me, and she sim banned me from the campus. Then she went into the group because I got told and I got shown what she posted. And she posted a notice in there saying she'd stripped me of everything because of how I'd acted. Now, the founder of the program had specifically stated that any student that passed that course and had qualified to get their picture put in that Hall of Fame, it was never to be removed. You could have disputes and you could have fights and arguments and you might have ill feeling against that person, but that does not give you the right to have that person's photo removed. And she's gone against that by doing just that, removing it. This is how petty and nasty people can be in Second Life. If you go into Second Life, I'm going to let you know now, it's addictive. You go in, you won't be able to turn around and say, I'm going to uninstall the game or the program. We'll call it a game for now. I'm going to uninstall the program, I'm never going to download it, and I'm never going to install it ever again. You won't be able to. You may be able to say, okay, I'm not going to go in there for a while. You may not go in there for a few months, but I'm telling you now, you will go back into Second Life. There is always a part of you that wants to go back into Second Life at some point, here or there. You will never completely and utterly leave Second Life. It's like a drug. It's addictive. You won't be able to get it out of your system. You will go back into Second Life. So keep that in mind. It is addictive. And as I said, there are some nice people in Second Life. But then there is a lot of people in there that are not. And they make it their whole enjoyment for being in Second Life is to make everybody else miserable. And the problem you've got is you can have more than one avatar. And you can have more than one account. I know people that have got up to around about 3,000 accounts. Now, if you've got a person that's got it in for you and they've got 3,000 different accounts, and now they're called alts, okay? They got 3,000 alts And then their friends, they've all got, say, 800 or 900 alts. And then their alts have got 300 or 400 friends. And then their friends have got 400 or 500 alts. And they're all coming after you. You got no way of winning. Because they're spread all over the grid. You might get 3 or 4 of them go to this club, and then you might have another 3 or 4 go to that club, and then you might have another 6 or 7 go to another club, and then you might have another 4 or 5 or 10 go to a certain club, and then you can't get away from them. You can't get away from them. So what I'm trying to get past to you is, if you don't want to be bullied by these Karens, and you don't want to be the target of them being vindictive, don't go into Second Life. I'm warning you now, don't go into Second Life. I wish I'd never gone into Second Life to start with. Don't go into Second Life. Because, like I said, there are nice people in there. I know at least 3 or 4 people. And they are nice. And I've known them for years. I've got one person in particular, and I've known her for about 9 or 10 years. About 9 or 10 years. I've got another one, and she's in America. I've got another one that I've known for about 5, maybe 6 years. And she's an Australian. She's here in Perth, I think it is, Western Australia. I've got another one who's in Brisbane, I think. Now, I haven't known her for as long. I think I've known her for about maybe a year. So, you know, there are some really nice people. Really nice people. But the majority, they're not nice. They're only nice while things go their way. And then when things don't go their own way, instead of keeping it between you and them, or them and you, they bring in their friends, they bring in their friends' friends, their friends then bring in their friends, then they use their ALTs, and it's just downhill from there on in. So, guys, do be careful if you do go into Second Life, because as I said, it is a nice place to go, very pretty, but it's very, very, very dark. Very dark. It's got a real dark side to it, and a very dark, very evil, very vindictive, very hurtful side to it. And if you're unlucky enough to witness that, they won't let you go. They won't. 3 years they've been doing it. Solid 3 years. And they're still doing it. So just be warned, guys. I'll give you the link to the site down below, so you can check it out on the web page. But I'm telling you, if you've never been there before, be prepared. And if you don't want to wind up seeing that dark side of Second Life, don't go in there. Just don't go in there. Find another game to play. There are heaps of other games out there. Find another one, because Second Life is very addictive. It only takes a few minutes to get hooked. I said, and you're in it for life. So with that, I'm going to end this vlog, and I'm going to do another one on another game that I play. And Eggy and I will, well, I'll see you. Eggy seems to have gone to sleep. Eggy and I will catch you in the next one, which will be in a couple of minutes' time. So there you go. Okay, guys, see you soon.